Welcome back to our channel, Soap fans. Today is an absolutely beautiful day to dive into the wildest, most unhinged drama our favorite town has to offer. Grab your iced coffee and buckle up, because we have so much to unpack and my mind is literally spinning. Let's get right into it. The ground in Port Charles just split wide open, swallowing every lie and half-truth Ethan Lovett bled to protect, and leaving Josslyn Jack staring down the barrel of an impossible choice between her father's corporate empire and her lethal WSB double life. The momentum has violently shifted, and the collateral damage is about to be catastrophic. Oh my god. I'm screaming. I literally cannot even deal right now. Okay, but listen to me. You have to listen, because I was just sitting here eating my dinner, minding my own business, and I literally choked on my pasta. I had to pause my screen and text my best friend immediately because my jaw dropped to the floor and it is still there. I am unwell. I am actually unwell. The sheer audacity of the writers to drop this massive, earth-shattering puzzle piece on us on a random Tuesday? I can't breathe. We need to talk about Hudson Parker, Josslyn Jax, Ethan Lovett, and the baby Phoebe mystery, because everything we thought we knew is a lie. A literal lie. Let's just start with the Metro Court Gardens. The aesthetic was gorgeous, the drinks looked amazing, and Josslyn is just sitting there looking fabulous. And in walks Hudson Parker. Hudson, the guy who we all thought was just some random dangerous WSB operative or whatever. But no. He sits down and drops the absolute biggest bombshell of the century. He works for Jasper Jax. Jax. My brain actually short-circuited. Hudson is the VP of Operations at Jasper Jax Enterprise. I was yelling at my screen, why would he do that? Why would Jax hire this terrifying man? But wait, it gets crazier. Hudson looks Josslyn dead in the eye and tells her that Jax is currently sailing around the world, which honestly is so on brand for Jax. Like, of course he's just on a yacht somewhere while his daughter is getting shot at on Spoon Island, and that Jax has officially made Josslyn the new CEO of JJE. I'm dead. I am actually deceased. Jax just handed a massive, multinational corporate empire to a 20-something college student? The audacity. Not okay. But Josslyn's reaction was everything. She literally scoffed. She scoffed in his face and was like, I want nothing to do with this company. And Hudson, who clearly has zero patience for anything, sarcastically asks her what on earth is keeping her so busy that she can't run a multi-million-dollar empire. And that is when Josslyn drops her own nuclear bomb. She looks at him and reveals that she is a WSB agent. I was like, are you serious? She just told him. The look on Hudson's face was iconic. He was so frustrated, and honestly, I kinda get it. He traveled all the way from Australia to meet her, expecting to hand over the keys to the kingdom, and she's basically like, no thanks. I prefer dodging bullets and dealing with international terrorists. They get into this massive argument, right there in the gardens. Hudson is furious that she wasted his time, and Josslyn is super upset that Jax didn't even have the decency to call her himself to tell her this. Which is a valid point. Why didn't Jax call her? That is a huge mystery that we need to solve, but I'll get to that in a minute. Josslyn literally tells Hudson to go find a list of qualified candidates so she can hand the company over to someone else. She's done. She's out. Oh wait, before that happened actually. I forgot to mention earlier, but Hudson didn't just casually stroll into Port Charles from a relaxing flight from Sydney. No. Hudson had just returned from Oslo, Norway. And what was he doing in Oslo? Oh, just tracking down Ethan Lovett and giving him the absolute beatdown of a lifetime. I am still shaking from those scenes. Ethan fled town because he saw Hudson at the Metro Court pool and recognized him. Which means they know each other. From where? But Hudson tracked him down to Oslo, beat him to a pulp, and then threatened Ethan's mother, Laura, and his sister, Lulu. He literally told Ethan that if he finds out Ethan lied about Delilah Wilson and the baby, he is going to go after his... At this point, I'm yelling at my screen. Ethan is already going through it. Okay? He took a bullet to the butt protecting Ava Jerome. He's been running for his life, and now he's getting destroyed in a Norwegian hotel room. But this Oslo beatdown changes everything. Let's connect the dots, because my mind is racing so fast I can barely type. Remember the DNA test? Don't even get me started on that. Ethan literally dressed up as a cop, which is insane by the way. The audacity of this man to just waltz into the PCPD in a uniform and broke the seal on a cold case evidence box. He stole a DNA sample from a cold case file and swapped it with his own swab when Elizabeth tested him. Why? So Alexis Davis would have proof of Phoebe's paternity, allowing Harrison Chase and Brooklyn Quartermain to adopt the baby. Ethan wanted a closed adoption to sign away his rights and vanish. We all knew Ethan wasn't the real father. We all knew he was protecting Delilah Wilson from a bad man in the New York art world. But we all assumed Hudson was that bad man and the biological father. Wait, did I already say that? Whatever. Anyway, if Hudson is working for Jax, and Hudson is demanding the truth about Delilah and the baby from... What if Hudson isn't the father? What if Hudson is looking for the father? Or what if Hudson is cleaning up a mess for someone else? Okay, where was I? Right, so let's talk about the cold case file. Whose DNA is in a cold case file at the Port Charles Police Department? It has to be someone with a criminal record. It has to be someone dangerous. I'm calling it now. This is going to end badly. Mark my words. The connection between Jax, Hudson, Ethan, and Phoebe all points to one terrifying, unhinged, iconic villain. Jerry Jax. Jerry actual Jax. My jaw dropped when I realized this. Let's look at the facts. Jerry is Jax's brother. DNA collection was in its infancy the last time Jerry was causing absolute chaos in Port Charles, taking hostages at the Metro Court and blowing things up. But the PCPD absolutely has his DNA on file in a cold box somewhere. Jax hasn't committed any major crimes that would put his DNA in a cold case file. Sure, he's done some unethical things, like buying Nell Benson's kidney for Josslyn on the black market, which was wild, but it was a life-saving measure for his daughter. So we give him a pass. But Jerry? Jerry is a full-blown international criminal mastermind. Delilah Wilson was much younger, sure, but Jerry Jax has always been a playboy who loves a trophy wife. He fits all the criteria to be Phoebe's birth father. He's rich, he's dangerous, he's tied to the art world and international. And how does Ethan fit into all this? How does Ethan know Hudson? Ethan grew up in Australia. Jax and Jerry are from Australia. Hudson flew in from Australia. They all have ties to the exact same place. They probably knew each other in the past, running in the same shady, underground circles. Ethan probably realized that Delilah got knocked up by Jerry Jax, realized how insanely dangerous that was, and tried to hide the baby to protect her from the Jax brothers syndicate. I can't even deal right now. If Jerry Jax is Phoebe's father, that means baby Phoebe is Josslyn's cousin! It means she's Jax's niece. And it means that Harrison Chase and Brooklyn Quartermain are currently fostering the biological child of one of the most dangerous terrorists in the history of Port Charles. Chase is a cop. Brooklyn is a Quartermain. They are sitting in their beautiful house, playing happy family, completely oblivious to the fact that they are harboring a ticking time bomb. If Jerry finds out he has a daughter, he is going to descend on Port Charles and tear Chase and Brooklyn's lives apart. And why didn't Jax call Josslyn himself? Why did he send Hudson to give her the CEO job? Is Jax in trouble? Is Jerry holding Jax hostage on that yacht? Or is Jax protecting Josslyn by staying away, knowing that Jerry is hunting for the baby? There are so many layers to this. I was pacing around my living room trying to piece it all together. Hudson beating up Ethan wasn't just random WSB violence. It was corporate, family-driven vengeance. Hudson worked for the Jax family. He's trying to find out if Ethan really fathered that baby, or if Ethan is hiding Jerry's heir. She needs to get it together, I swear. Josslyn, she just casually told the VP of operations for her father's company that she's a WSB agent. You don't just drop classified federal intelligence on a guy you just met over iced tea at the Metro Court. But then again, Josslyn has been through it lately. She got shot on Spoon Island. She's dealing with Ross Cullum and Cassius Faison. She's striking deals with Z. She's probably just exhausted and has zero filter left. But telling Hudson was a massive mistake. If Hudson reports back to Jax, or worse, to Jerry, that Josslyn is WSB, they are going to use that against her. I honestly cannot wait to see what happens. The fact that Ethan went to the extreme length of dressing as a cop to steal Jerry's DNA just proves how terrified he is. Ethan knows that if the truth comes out, Delilah's baby is doomed. But now Hudson knows Ethan is lying. Hudson knows Ethan is hiding something. And Hudson is not going to stop until he gets the truth. Poor Laura and Lulu are going to be dragged right into the crossfire because Hudson explicitly threatened them. Lulu is already dealing with so much with Dante and the Rocco situation. She does not need a terrifying Australian corporate thug coming after her. Seriously, this show is giving me palpitation. The writing right now is so dramatic, and I am here for every single second of it. We have a corporate takeover, a WSB spy reveal, an international beatdown in Norway, fake DNA tests, and the looming threat of Jerry Jacks returning to claim his secret child from a cop and a quartermain. It is soap opera perfection. I'm done. I literally cannot process any more information. I need to go lie down and stare at the ceiling until the next episode airs. Will Jerry Jacks return to claim his daughter, destroying Chase and Brooklyn's family? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below, hit that subscribe button, and don't miss a second.